gentlemen, welcome to a special collaboration of two of your favorite podcasts. Brandon from the Badass American Heroes podcast and Blake from the Noise Pollution podcast. Coming together once a month to bring you a special episode. Are you ready? Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first ever video podcast brought to you by the Badass American Noise Hero Pollution Podcast of America. Yeah. Brandon,
of America. Up, dude, I am chilling like a villain, bro. What's going on?
Oof. Not much. I am currently pantsless. Just throwing that out there.
I like you pantsless. And you know what? The audience is going to like you pantsless because we're on video tonight, Blake.
Oh, goddamn, we sure are, dude. Holy shit. What did we get ourselves into?
A lot of really deep anal cavities, right?
Oof. Oh, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
1 minute and 5 seconds in, and I just made the first butthole joke. Highbrow comedy, folks, here.
We can break that record next time. I'm saying within 5 seconds next time. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Absolutely. But it doesn't matter because the podcast is on YouTube now. You guys can see our pretty faces right here in this area. Right here.
All of this. Right
all
here.
All of this.
Yeah.
It's good to be here with you tonight, Blake, on YouTube doing a video podcast.
Dude, it's a very special occasion, man. I am so fucking excited to get into this episode tonight, man. Fuck.
I know it's gonna be something different than what we've normally done in the past on the Swapcast, but I think it's gonna be awesome, man. I'm really pumped.
Dude, me too, man. And dude, just dive right into it, man. Just tell the people what the fuck do we got going on tonight, man.
Okay, I'm gonna dive into it. We've got Josh Jeans, who is a firefighter in Nashville, Tennessee, but he is also one of the co-owners of Led by Iron clothing company, Led by Iron Apparel. They make t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, women's accessories. They make water bottles and stickers and decals and all kinds of awesome fucking shit. But the cool thing about Led by Iron is they are all first responder owned and operated. You know, Josh is a firefighter. His partner, Tyler, is a EMT that works in a hospital. So these guys are all about first responders and law enforcement and veterans and giving back to those communities.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Fucking
yes, indeed.
Man. Like, goddamn. I'm fucking stoked to get into this shit tonight, bro. Like, this is great. Dude, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're not going to hold you up much longer here. With just me and Brandon here. We're going to get ready to jump in a call with Josh here. But before we do, we just want to plug ourselves real quick. You know,
if you say housekeeping, I'm going to knock you out from Pennsylvania to Washington.
I said plug. I'm just going to do some quick housekeeping here real quick, guys.
Do you want a fucking pumpkin spice latte with that? You fucking hipster fuck?
You know, it's that time of the year, man, where all the basics come out and millions of pumpkins go to slaughter. God damn it.
Plug our stuff before I get sidetracked on pumpkin spice lattes.
All right, guys, you're here. You're watching us live on YouTube right now, or you're listening to wherever you're listening to this podcast from. If you're new to us on YouTube, if you're just hearing this, go to YouTube, search for Badass American Heroes Podcast and the Noise Pollution Podcast. Subscribe to both. I mean, the same video is going to be on both channels, but fuck, support us, guys. You guys are here. You love our shit. Come support two fucking awesome dudes trying to do something great here, okay? Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, like the videos, comment below. What do you want to see next in the future from the future of the Badass Noise Heroes Pollution Podcast of America? And if you don't know me, my name is Blake, and I host a podcast called The Noise Pollution Podcast. Other than YouTube, you can find me on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or Google Podcasts, whatever the fuck it's called nowadays, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, and anywhere fucking else you listen to podcast. Brandon, go. Your turn.
So if you don't know who I am, my name is Brandon. I am the host of Badass American Heroes podcast, a bi-weekly podcast that dives deep into the lives of some of America's most amazing veterans and dives into their stories of bravery, courage, and sacrifice. So that can be found, if you haven't already found it, all the same places Blake just said: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Google Podcast, whatever, all that bullshit. And on YouTube, I've got my own channel. All that stuff's going to be in the show notes, so you can find Blake and I, all of our information combined down there in the show notes, and you guys can go find us and follow us and give us some lovin', because it's that season where I need
some
love.
lovin', baby.
Yes. It's getting cold out. I need them loves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man. All right. Well, there it is, guys. Fuck it.
God
Should we
damn
just
it.
end the segment and jump into the content?
I think we should. Let's just go to our interview with Josh Jeans, firefighter in Nashville, Tennessee, and co-owner of Led by Iron Apparel. Let's fucking go.
Woo! Here we go!
Do-do-do-do-do!
Beep, 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 beep. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are now officially live with the man, the myth, the legend, Josh Jeans. What's up, man? Thanks for being here.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Dude, great, man. Great. Dude, we're psyched to have you on, brother. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to be here.
Yeah, very excited to have you on, man.
Oh, cool, man. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Josh, dude, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Man, I grew up in gotcha, man. I grew up about 45 minutes outside of Nashville, a small town, Ashland City, and then I went to elementary school there, and then in high school I moved to a private high school in Clarksville, Tennessee, which is really close to Fort Campbell. I went there to play basketball. I played my junior and senior year there, and I played a little bit of football, and then I went to Austin Peay State University, which is also in Clarksville, and I majored in marketing and advertising. And I graduated from there, and I worked in explosives. I blew up buildings for about a year, and that just kind of got too redundant. I traveled like 340 days a year. And then I worked in radio for a little while, and I decided I didn't like that either. So then I went to EMT school, and I got my EMT license, and I worked on an ambulance for around 2 years in a small town right outside of Nashville. And then I got on the Nashville Fire Department close to 10 years ago now. And I worked on an ambulance there for around 8 years. And kind of in between there, I got married probably around going on 12 years ago now. And we've got a 10-year-old boy, Brody, and we've got a 3-year-old named John Britton. And they keep me busy. They keep my wife busy. So, and about a year ago now, we call it crossover. I left the ambulance and I went to the fire academy, and now I'm on a fire engine. So that's me in a nutshell.
Oh, shit. That's a lot. Now, you said, to go back real quick, you said blowing things up got redundant. I mean,
yeah, man, it
what?
just got, I mean, it was, yeah. I mean, I would head out on like a Sunday night, and we blew up rock quarries. We did a lot of buildings. We did I worked with seismographs, which kind of it measured the frequency of the blast to make sure that they didn't damage any buildings surrounding the blast. And we'd go everywhere, man. And it just got to the point where I'd wake up and didn't even know where I was half the time. And I was like, I got to find something closer to home.
Gotcha.
Because I was literally gone all the time. And it was just, I mean, it was fun. But I mean, once you've seen one building blow up, you've seen them all blow up. So it's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
So.
But, in between blowing up buildings and then being an EMT and being on an ambulance, you did something else, and you started a clothing company, right?
We started that. Tyler started it in July of 2017. And I came on he worked on it for probably about a year before he even started it. He had the website going. He had 4 or 5 shirts he had done, and around December of last year, I came on, and we just kind of, we sat down and we came out with a couple more shirts, and we just, I had my degree in advertising and marketing, but I'm 41 years old, so things have changed since then. And so I kind of had to teach myself how to do Instagram. And when I started helping, when I bought in with Tyler, he kind of was like, man, I'll run the business in, you kind of run the marketing in. So I think we had I don't know, man, 9,000 followers when I started. Now I think we've got 30,000 now, I believe.
That's a big boy number.
Yeah, it's getting there, man. It's, but I really don't, I'd rather, we got 30,000. Some people got 100,000, whatever. But I mean, if you've got 30,000 and you can work those 30,000, then you should be doing pretty good. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you've got 10,000 followers, it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as you've got good followers who are loyal to you, and and you're loyal to them, and you take care of them, they're going to take care of you. And then they're going to tell their friends, and they're going to tell their friends, and it's just a little trickle down. And that's kind of what we've done. And we started. We kind of sit down. We've done like one photo shoot, man, and we did it to where we, if you buy our product, and you send us a picture, and we're gonna try to put it on Instagram, and and that makes them feel good. It makes us feel good that they're wearing our stuff and they're proud of wearing it. And we started doing that, man, and I think that's really worked really, really well for us. And I've noticed that some big boy companies have started doing it too, and which I kind of thought that was, that made us feel like, hey, we figured that portion of it out. And then, we'll as we get followers, we try to send everyone a message, with a discount code whenever they start following us, more or less telling them, thank you for following us. We appreciate it. And, and then that works really well for us too. Cause social media it's not really social, it's social media, but it's really less social than you would think. I mean, cause you just, you never really talk to these people. I mean, and they just post pictures, this, that, the other. But then it kind of makes them feel like, hey, these guys are, they're taking time out of their day, they're taking time out of their business to send me a message, and I think that's really helped us to kind of get to know our people, And then when they'll send us a picture, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that guy, I remember that girl, and I think that's helped us a lot. And we do a lot of giveaways with other companies, and we've met just numerous amounts of people, man. We've met Rob O'Neill. We're good friends with Sean Masson from Strike Force. We're good friends with, just you name it. And we've done giveaways with a lot of people. And we've done T-shirts. We know with Ross Patterson. We just did our second one, the Barrel Road Champion. And yes, it was a good one. He called me like, man, it was actually 2 weeks ago today. He called me on Friday, and he was like, hey, let's do the shirt. And I was like, well, shit. So, but he had it kind of designed. He more or less had it designed up. So I called Tyler and I was like, hey, Ross, let's do the shirt. So we called our T-shirt company that we use, and we sent them the design, and we changed a couple colors, and we sent it to Ross that night, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. So that Monday we had it rolling. So in a matter of 48 hours, we had it ready to rock,
That's great. And
then, and stuff like that, man, you've got to be on your damn toes. You've got to be watching, because something like that, it'll be out of the news in 2 days, 3 days. So because the media is so fast now, you got Twitter, you got Facebook. You're going to see something on Twitter before you see it on the news, and then in 2 days it's something else. So we jumped on it quick, and that's what you've got to do. And anything with that, you got to jump on it quick, and we did, and we got it done quick. So Ross was happy with it, we were happy with it. And, we sold a great amount of them. And, the first shirt we did with him last year was from Range 15. And he called us and was like, hey, his son's best friend had a rare form of cancer. Mm-hmm. And he said, hey, let's do this shirt. And we did it. And, man, that thing sold like wildfire.
You guys did a couple of runs of that shirt, right?
Yeah, we did too. We were going to do another one. And then we were like, man, we don't want to burn it out. But, we got more plans with Ross down the road this year. So, maybe Black Friday, something like that. We're going to do something else. But you know, and in this business, it's all who you work with, and everyone we've worked with, 99.9% of people we've worked with have just been great, you know. But it's all about how you treat each other.
Did you ever see yourself, you know, 10, 20 years ago in a business, doing business with guys like Rob O'Neill, guys like Sean Matson, guys like you know, Ross Patterson? Did you ever think like, hey man, one day this is going to be it? Or did you always just think, you know, whatever, I'll just,
you know, I mean, I've, you know, when I got out of school, I mean, I worked in clothing. I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch. I worked at some clothing stores, you know, but I don't know. I went to a pretty good business school, and they taught us, and, you know, and customer service is the main one with us. And I would just call these dudes up. And when I met Sean Matson, I was at the fire hall, and I sent him a message on Instagram. Didn't say anything about Lead by Iron. Didn't say. I said, hey man, you should come by the fire hall. I sent him a direct message on Instagram. 2 or 3 months later, he sent me back. He said, what's your phone number? So he sends us to give it to him. He shoots me a text, shot him the address. He showed up. So he brought the whole fire hall, you know, a bunch of strike force. And then so we started shooting the crap, you know, and then come to find out, you know, so we started talking, whatever. A week later, we were doing a giveaway together on Instagram. And then after that, you know, but Tyler had already done some advertising with Ross 3 or 4 months before. And he did a 1 month run with Ross. It went good. And then, so we made that relationship with Ross, and then we just stuck with it, you know, and that's what you got to do is, I mean, as long as you're good to people and they're good to you, it's going to work, you know? So, and we've done it, you know, with Rob, we met him through my next door neighbor. He has a charity that he runs called Your Grateful Nation. And, they take operators once they get out of the military, and they help them, they set them up with mentors, and they help them, you know, get on the right track, and they figure out what they want to do with their lives. And then they have a mentor that helps them get a job, do what they want to do. And, you know, and they do it in like 10 different cities every year. And they came to Nashville this year, and my neighbor was like, hey, you need to meet these guys. So we went and met, the board of directors for the foundation. And then Rob came into town, I think it was like towards the end of July. And, you know, we did the thing here. We did a t-shirt for him, and it went great, you know, and now we still talk to him to this day. I mean, we're supposed to go to Florida at the end of October with him, but I've torn my ACL somehow, so we're not going to get to go to that.
So real quick for the audience that may not know, tell the audience who Rob O'Neill is, because there might be some listeners that have been like living under a fucking rock and don't know who he is.
Yeah. Well, he was he was a Navy SEAL, and you know, he's a very humble fellow. You know, once you get to talking to him, you know, he was involved in I think if he's not one of the most decorated Navy SEALs, he was involved when they saved Marcus Luttrell. Everybody knows who Marcus Luttrell is. He was involved when they saved Captain Phillips, the movie, and you know, and then he obviously killed Osama bin Laden. So, you know, when we first met him, we walked in a barbecue place, actually like 2 miles from my fire hall. We walk in, you know, they're there, and Rob stands up because, how you doing? I'm Rob O'Neill. And I was like, yep, you are, you know, I mean, it's just like sitting down, you know, just one of the guys. I mean, he doesn't try to stand out. He's not running around going with a shirt on and say, hey, I killed bin Laden. I mean, for obvious reasons, but I mean, you know, he's just like everybody else. And, you know, at first I was kind of like, well, when I met him, you know, hour later, we're acting like we've been friends forever. I mean, that's just kind of how he is. I mean, he's a good speaker, you know, and people want to meet him, and, you know, he'll tell you stories, and he'll tell you, you know, I mean, he's not bragging, you know, but I mean, he's a great guy to talk to. I mean, he's done a lot of things with his life, and he started out in Butte, Montana, and, you know, now he's Rob O'Neill.
It's great.
Right. Well, let's back up just a little bit. What can you tell us about Led by Iron? Like, what values does your company represent as far as like the American way of life?
Well, we you know, we're first responder owned and operated. I'm a firefighter in Nashville, and Tyler is a paramedic. He works in a probably the second busiest hospital in Nashville. And I met him, I don't know, man, I guess now about 7-8 years ago. And, you know, we've been friends. And then, you know, we just want people to wear our things who are patriots. All of our stuff have a patriot look to them. They have a feel to them. Our skull flag, you know, is Americana. You know, it's got our regular logo, but we try to tie either American flag, some type of military, or first responder in all of our shirts. And, you know, we have the thin red line shirt for firefighters, obviously. We have a St. Florian t-shirt, which is the patron saint of firefighters. We have a thin blue line shirt for the police officers, law enforcement officers. We have a death card shirt. It's not really for military, but, I mean, it pertains to military. And, you know, the death card is what the military used during Vietnam. They would lay some type of playing card when they would, you know, kill someone on that person's body. And, you know, we put that definition when we first came out. You know, we thought about that shirt. We had it designed and had it done in like 2 weeks. So, you know, and that's ever since it came out, it's been one of our top sellers. We can't even keep the dang thing in stock most of the time. I mean, we're having to order it again Monday. And, you know, with the shirt we did just recently, we actually released it today. We did it with Darren McBurnett. He was a Navy SEAL, you know, and that's going to be a huge shirt for us. And we're probably just going to wait and release it tomorrow because it's already too late now. But we've got it picked up. We've got them done. And, you know, it's a great shirt. I mean, and all of our shirts are the best material you can get. And we make our stuff clean. We make it where you can wear it anywhere, you know, and we're not going to make a shirt that's something we couldn't wear, you know. I mean, a lot of these companies, I mean, they're going to make a shirt and I don't know. I mean, we try to keep the stuff that we would wear and be proud to wear and show American heritage and show, you know, that you love America and that you're proud of, say you're a firefighter, you're proud to be a firefighter. If you're a policeman, you're proud to be a policeman. If your husband, wife's a policeman and you want to wear the shirt, that's great. You know, I mean, it just shows support for people in your community that are helping you stay safe while you're asleep. And, you know, I mean, it helps us to know that we're appreciated and the other people are appreciated when they see people wearing it.
Right. And, you know, like that's the feel that I get, like if I visit your website or Instagram or whatever, that's the feel that I get. It's all revolved around just that really nitty gritty, just American way of life that we're just out there to support the ones, you know, the heroes that, you know, that serve our nation, you know, day and night, the police, law enforcement, firefighters, military, stuff like that. That's the feel I get from Led by Iron. And it really shows in your products and just with everything that you guys do. Like you work with a lot of military and all that stuff like that. I mean, you guys are all former or currently firefighters, EMS, something of the sort. So, yeah. You know, it's all, you know, like, I mean, I know fitness is a major part of, your guys' platform as well. I mean, yeah. So like, it's like, those are the shirts. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. With ours, man, when I first got bought in, you know, he had the police shirt, he had the fire shirt, and he had workout shirts, whatever. And we kind of, you know, that's what's so good about us. You know, we have military, we have police, we have fire. And if you're just an American and you like wearing American flag shirts to work out, to wear around, just whatever. So we're trying to hit all bases. We're not trying to just be a firefighter shirt. We're not trying to be just a firefighter company or police company. You know, we're trying to hit all aspects so we can, you know, I mean, all of our shirts, we're trying to keep it the same feel, but for different kind of people, you know, but it's not really different kind of people, but just that anyone can wear to show support, or if like just to show support for police officer. You don't have to be a police officer to wear it. Just say, hey, you know, that you appreciate them doing what they do and wear the shirt, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think that's great, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's just, that's what I feel that like our culture in America is like really kind of like almost having like an existential crisis in a way, is that like we've kind of, I mean, I see a lot of it, and I know at least the three of us do sitting down here together today. Like we're involved with that type of community and stuff like that. So, and we get it, but, just like what Led by Iron encompasses, it's just the vibe that I get from you, and then just the company in general. It's just like, you know, you can do something in your life, and, you know, that American dream that was always talked about, that dream is still alive, and it can still be easily obtained today. I mean, your company is a great example of that, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, like when I first got on, man, you know, we were, you know, Tyler's got a full-time job, obviously. I mean, I obviously have a full-time job. And I kind of told him, I was like, you know, we can't put a lot of pressure on ourselves to sell. You know, I said, the more laid back we are, the better off we'll be. And, you know, I was like, man, you know, if we don't sell 10 T-shirts in 10 minutes, we're still going to have a house. We're still going to have a car. Excuse me. We're still going to have our families. So we just kind of kept the pressure off ourselves that way. And excuse me, I'm sorry. And that helped us a lot because you know, you don't have to worry about, you know, selling T-shirts. You know, then you can put out a better product and not be rushed because you've got to sell it. And that's how we got, you know, I think that's how we got going so good because we weren't throwing out 15 shirts at a time. You know, we were doing one here, one there, and you know, it's a process to do a shirt. I mean, we're not a huge company by no means, but we try to make it where, you know, we don't bust out 10 shirts in a month because I mean, we've got people who buy every one of our shirts and they're not going to be able to afford 10 shirts in a month. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then we do it that way, and you know, we got police guys who wear our fire shirt. We got fire guys who wear our police shirt. I mean, I love our police shirt. We came out with we've got two actually. The first one we came out with, we weren't very happy with the blue line in it, so we did another one to make it lighter. You know, and you know, we like it bothered us for a long time. We were like, man, we got to redo the shirt, so we redid it, and then we marked we call it the first generation down. You know, we're selling it. You know, but I mean, if it's not perfect to us, we're not going to sell it because I mean, we've had some shirts that came back before, and we're like, look, man, this doesn't look right. We don't want it. We're not paying you for this, and they'll fix it because we've got a very good company that we use that does all of our screen printing, and they do a great job. You know, I went down there today and hung out with them. You know, the last shirt we did, Tyler went down and picked it up and stopped, bought 4 or 5 cases of beer for the guys that are in there printing the shirts, you know, just That's and awesome. Hung out with them for a little while, you know, and they're like, man, nobody really ever does this for us. We appreciate it. Cause I mean, it's about, I'm not even exaggerating, probably 120 degrees in there. And these guys are in there printing these shirts. I'm like, good Lord, you know, and then, you know, I go in there and I thank them. Tyler thanks them. We tell them thank you, you know, because I mean, without those guys, we wouldn't have a business, you know, and they help us with design. They help us with, you know, we always use the same type of T-shirt. We always use Next Level Apparel. It's the best shirt on the market. And we always use a tri blend. I mean, and, you know, even when we do print a T-shirt, me and Tyler will get different colors to try out. When we do a next run of them, we'll have a different color. You know, we try to give people options, but not, you know, because I mean, some people, like we've done shirts before that we didn't like. And we sold the heck out of them. And then we did shirts where we thought they'd sell and they didn't, you know. And that's why Instagram is so good. You know, they have those options down in your stories where you can more or less ask people what they liked. We did some hats, and I designed a hat, and I was like, man, this thing's going to blow the doors off. So I got the company who does our hats to do one for me. We put on Instagram, did a pull it bond. So we obviously didn't do it. So that saved us, you know, money to do another hat. And you know, we've got 7 hats out right now, and it's just, you know, that they sell like wildfire, you know. But we did the Richardson 112, which is kind of more or less the flat bill snapback, and then we did a hat, you know, just for looks like a baseball hat. You know, some people don't like the flat bill, so we tried to have a couple options for people to buy, and it worked. You know, we got different colors, we got different styles, same patch, just different colors, and I think that helps giving people options.
Right.
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Blake.
Nope.
No, go ahead, Blake.
No, you.
All right.
We're gonna argue.
So,
McConaughey.
we got a lot of drama to work out, Blake. You and I.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're so salty with me today. That's
God
fine.
damn it, Blake. I am, man.
It's
Tell
fine.
everybody. Let's pause here. Tell everybody why I'm mad. You say it because you should. You need to own up to what you did.
I mean, there's nothing to own up to. I mean, like, you know, went to a Drinking Bros event, tailgating event yesterday in Philly, and hung out with Drinking Bros Pennsylvania chapter, and Ross Patterson, you know, Dan Holloway, Fred X. You know, he was there chilling, drinking Jello shots, smoking cigars and shit. Like, you know, no big.
You're dead to me, Blake.
I mean, you're trying to make me feel like I should feel bad, but you're the one coming off sounding like a jealous girlfriend. I'm just throwing that out there.
whatever. Get your shit out of my house. Anyway, Josh, so what made you decide, like, you know, you're a firefighter. That's a pretty good job, you know. It's putting food on the table, it's taking care of the family. It's definitely something that is high pace, high intensity. You know, it's never the same thing every day.
Never.
What made you decide to get into, you know, business with Tyler and Led by Iron? What was the cause behind that? What was your mindset when you said, hey, I'm going to fucking sell t-shirts with Tyler and we're just going to see how it goes?
Exactly. You know, he came to me, he called me one day and he was like, you know, back when I was on an ambulance, he was, worked in the hospital, obviously. So I'd see him and I walked in when he was selling these t-shirts. I was like, what is this stuff, man? So he kind of told me and I was like, man, that's a good idea. And his parents live like, I don't know, 5 minutes from me. And we went down there last 4th of July and he had some of his shirts that he'd had done. And he gave me a couple of them and I was like, man, I really like these. And then for about 4 months later, he calls me. He's like, hey man, you want to buy into Led by Iron? And I was like, give me a day or two, let me find out. You know, so I talked over with my wife. I was like, hey, I think I'm going to do this. I think I can make this, you know, we can blow the doors off of this deal, you know, because I've got a degree in marketing and advertising, and I think we can do it. And because Tyler runs a business man, he's really good with numbers. He's really good with what to order. He's really good with keeping up with, you know, what we should order of each shirt, what size. Because I mean, that's a hard deal to do, man. Because I mean, you don't want to order the same number of every size because you're gonna get stuck with a bunch of smalls. You might get stuck. It's just according to what shirt you do. You know, we have women's tank tops. And you have to gauge how many smalls do I need, how many mediums do I need, how many larges, you know, it's just based off. And when you're first, I don't even know. So then you kind of have to gauge off what you sold of your last shirt. But, you know, keeping up with that kind of stuff's hard. And he's good at that stuff. And he's good at, you know, what to order. You know, he's good at design work. He's kind of good at getting his brain flowing. And then we just kind of bounce ideas off each other. Like, you know, what should we do on this shirt? You know, and then like the last shirt we did with McBee, the one we're releasing today, you know, we have the eagle on the back, and that's one of his photographs he took. And he's, you know, they've auctioned off that print numerous times. And I mean, it's raised a lot of money for a lot of people. And he sent me that picture and was like, hey, let's do this on the back. He gave me a slogan. And so, and then we came up with 3, 4, 5 different options for the front. And then we all three just put our heads together and decided on, you know, to use a spade. We've used a spade. This will be our 3rd shirt. But we changed the skull up a little bit just to make it a little bit different because we don't want people like, damn, they came up with another spade shirt. But I mean, you know, we kind of, when we did the death card, we liked the spade. So we've kind of stuck with that on a lot of things just because it, you know, it's kind of our deal now. But I mean, the next shirt we do, might not even have a spade in it. But, you know, that's what's good about me and Tyler. We're, you know, we could, you know, you have to have constructive criticism for everything you do. And then we, you know, we'll ask our friends, hey man, you like this design? I'll be at the fire hall. Hey man, what do you think about this? I mean, firemen are about the most damn honest assholes in the world. I mean, that's just like shit, you know? And, you know, you got to take that with a grain of salt, and, you know, if they don't like it, I mean, that's more or less the guys we're selling to. And if they don't like it, we'll ask 4, 5, 6 people, then we'll run a poll on Instagram, and then, you know, I mean, because we really don't really have a marketing budget. Our marketing is Instagram and Facebook, which I don't really do a lot with. Tyler runs the Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook. I don't even know anything about it. But I like Instagram.
It's funny that you talk about that because my degree, my kind of background is in marketing and advertising too. And social media has made it not easier, but more kind of convenient. You can get more of an idea of, you know, how a design is going to do. Like you said, you can run an Instagram poll and be like, hey, what do you guys think of this design? And people are going to tell you like, hey, that looks like a pile of dog shit, or hey, that's awesome, I'm going to order 3.
Exactly.
And it's a huge bonus that we have now that, you know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we didn't have that as people that do marketing. So it is a huge bonus to have that as a tool, you know, one more tool for your toolbox, like everybody likes to say.
Exactly. But I mean, in that case, it's true though. I mean, but then you get these clowns on wherever that think they're like social media, got a GED. But, you know, I mean, I went to school for it, but that don't make me smarter than anybody else. But when somebody's trying to tell me something, that you should do it this way, you should do it that way. I mean, I'll listen to whatever they say, and I'll try whatever. But I'm not going to listen to somebody whose business is whatever. But I mean, I like constructive criticism, and that's how me and Tyler have grown. There's certain people I'll listen to, and like Madsen, Ross Patterson. I mean, we could call Ross up, and he'd tell me, whatever. And we've done shirts with Ross, and he came to Tyler with that first shirt. Was like, man, I like the way y'all do business. I like your attitude. I love the style of your shirts. I love everything about y'all. Your Instagram's growing, and he helped us get pushed over the map, obviously. And we trust his opinion on everything from marketing to colors. I mean, like the color of shirt we did with him, whatever. I mean, and if you don't have good people around you, you're not going to make it anything. I don't care if you're selling gravel or if you're whatever selling mulch. You got to have good customers. You got to have good people around you, and you have to have good suppliers. Like with our screen printer. If we're having a shirt come out today and he's gonna be like, dude, it's late, it's gonna be a week, we're screwed. So you got to make sure who you're in business with has the same morals and values that you do, or it's not going to work.
Yeah, you literally just took the words right out of my mouth. I was just getting ready to talk about that. I think that's one of the things that I think a lot of people miss when it comes to business, or they don't understand that, like, why their business failed, or it's not going at a rate that they thought they had originally, had a concept of or dreamt of, is that people forget that doing business, especially in like times like today, like social media is such a major aspect of business. And if you're not active on it and you're not doing things on social media, and that's just one small portion of it. But you're right, though. You do have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. You got to surround yourself with people that are probably a lot better than you are at what you do, because then you have something to strive towards. You can get that good constructive criticism, and and those people become your mentors in a way. And like, hey man, like, look, this sucks, but here's some things that could probably help you out and do a little bit better. And I see it a lot. I see it a lot in a lot of businesses that I'm familiar with, and they kind of just plateau because they don't know what to do next, and they're missing such a major aspect of what it means to be in business.
Like, some companies grow too fast. It looks like on Instagram that we've grown so fast. But Tyler worked on this thing for a year before he even came out with a shirt. And, you don't want to grow too fast, but you don't want to grow at a turtle pace either, But like with us, man, we try to keep it where, we don't come out with, like what I said earlier, coming out with 400 shirts in a month. It's crazy. You can't do that. You can't afford it. And you can't spread at all. So, but, back to the thing where we both have jobs, a real, not real job. We both have full-time jobs, and it makes it where you're not as pressured. You can't just go, man, forget this shit. I'm quitting my job today. I'm going to start a t-shirt company. Dude, you'll go broke in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Unless you've got $100,000 sit back. What are you going to do? Go home and tell your wife, hey man, I quit my job making whatever, and I'm just going to sell t-shirts out of our garage. That sounds great, but it's not going to work, man.
I think all of us are married, and I think if I came home and told my wife, like, hey, I quit my job, I'm just going to like sell t-shirts out of the garage or something like that. Don't worry, it's all good. Like, she would fucking kill me.
It's all good.
Yeah,
I'd be dead.
Yeah, she wouldn't be mad about that one bit. No.
Nah, she'd be totally cool with it.
Yeah, for sure. Jeez.
My wife's supportive. Tyler's wife's supportive. But and people don't realize too what kind of damn time this shit takes up.
Oh yeah.
I worked 24 hours yesterday. I got off this morning. I went and lifted for a little while. I went to, where did I go? I went to our screen printer, got some shirts, had to go drop some stuff off because we're having a 9/11 hockey game tomorrow night, and we've donated some stuff for that. I was telling you about earlier. And, I was gone all day, and I didn't get even home till 6 o'clock, and I'd been gone since yesterday, more or less. I came home this morning, took a shower, and rolled. So, it's like something's every day. But if you're not doing something every day, then somebody else is, and you're screwed. What you said earlier about Instagram, people write articles, and they write whatever on times of day to print, to to post. I mean, that's great and dandy, but when you got 30,000 followers, you got 30,000 different people who are doing 30,000 different things.
Yeah.
And if you post something at 8:00 or 8:05, it don't matter a fucking hill of beans.
No, it doesn't matter.
And unless you're getting up at 2:00 in the morning posting stuff, nobody's going to see that. No, but I mean, you've got these stories these days, and man, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
I mean, and then once you get 10,000 people, you get that swipe up option, and that's huge. And all you got to do is cut and paste the exact shirt you've got in that picture. You swipe up, there's the shirt, they buy it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great tool. Josh,
it's a great tool.
I mean, I broke 700 followers today on Instagram. No big deal. Just, throwing it out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, we all start. I mean, through my personal Instagram, I don't think I got, who the hell even knows, but I mean, I ain't got time to look at my own Instagram. I mean, I do some, but like Sean Matson told me one day, he was like, look, dude, you need to have Led by Iron. You need to have a family one that no one's on. And then you need to have another personal one that's just you. And I did that, and that's worked. And, because you want people to kind of know who you are, but you don't want people to know who your kids are. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
totally agree on that.
I mean, there's some fucking weirdos out there, man.
Yeah.
And, but that comes with the damn territory. If you put yourself out there, like, we don't, but we do. But I mean, you're asking for it. When people sit around like people like, well, man, I don't want people to know my kids. I mean, that's fine, but you're putting them on fucking Instagram. What do you think's going to happen?
Right.
That's why I don't do it. And that's why Tyler doesn't do it either, So, I mean, there's a line in the sand you got to draw, and you're just like, I'm done right here. Especially with my job, I can't do anything, Yeah. I can't, everybody says there's no bad such thing as marketing. That is true, but there's a bad way to market yourself. And I mean, without me being a fireman, I don't think we'd have a company. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's my job. I've wanted to do that since I was a kid. My grandfather was a fireman, and I'd rather, if I was a damn millionaire, I'd still be a fireman. That's just what I like to do. I like the camaraderie. I mean, I like helping people. I like, I'm going to be out of work for like close to 4 or 5 months because I tore my ACL. I'm probably going to go nuts,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, being a fireman is not just being a fireman. It's like hanging out with your buddies. It's,
it's a way of life.
It is. It's, I mean, when you meet somebody and they're like, I don't know if you know who Gunnar Peterson is. You might. I've talked to him a couple of times. That was another guy that of all the people I've met, man. I mean, he's a worldwide personal trainer. He trains Khloe Kardashian. He's Kim Kardashian. He's trained Stallone. He trains, you name it, he trains them. And I hooked up with him through a buddy of mine who was on the Navy SEAL show on CBS. I got to know him. He hooked me up with Gunnar. And I talked to Gunnar on the phone, and when I talked to him, I was like, man, I cannot believe I'm talking to this guy. But he told me a lot of good tips, man, and and they were all dead on right, And then I actually heard him on a podcast with Aubrey Marcus.
Oh,
and
shit.
he was talking about the people you surround yourself with, and it was so true. And then when I talked to him, the stuff he told me he liked about me was dead on what he liked about people that surrounded him. And I've learned from that, you don't want a bunch of clowns around you, because you're going to look like a clown.
Right.
And, we've had some situations with people that we've had to, I mean, it's just going to happen in business. You're going to run into some people that at first you might like them, and then a month later you might be like, man, we got to get the fuck out of this shit, Yeah. But you live and learn. It's just like with anything else. It's like when you make a T-shirt, it doesn't work. You go, well, we screwed that one up, and you can't get all down. And it's like anything else in life, I mean, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do stuff wrong, but you got to let it go,
Yeah, and
like
the faster you let it go, the faster you can continue to grow.
Exactly. I mean, that's like, I'm on the fire department, we go on a call, something happens bad to someone, you got to deal with that call and let it go, or you're going to screw up the next one. It's just like anything in business, you screw up a shirt, you screw up a hat, screw it, man, go to the next. Make the next one that much better, that you forget about the other one. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's something that stops a lot of people right there when they hit a hiccup in something that they did and it didn't react well with their customer base. and they just oh fuck, like what do I do? And then that's it. Like they don't learn from it, and what's that saying go? It's like if you something about like if you make a mistake, and you don't learn from it or something like that. I don't know. One of you smarter people out there can fill me in with that one, but
yeah, I'm not that smart. but that's so true though. I mean, because if you screw something up, whoa, go ahead, you screwed it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no going back. It's just going
exactly.
Forward now,
I mean, that's like if you stuck your arm out the window and got hit by a sign, the next time you drive down that road, you're gonna stick your arm out the window again. Well, no, it's insanity. So you just got to learn from your mistakes and go on to the next. I mean, me and Tyler have learned a lot just through doing this business about people, about life, about whatever. And a few months ago, I got way too involved in this shit, and I was like, man, I was beating the hell out of myself. I was so fucking tired, and I had to step back. But I can tell on days that I'm not trying on Instagram, that I'm not trying. And Tyler's the same way, but sometimes you just got to say, man, screw it, dude. I need a break. Because if you don't, you're going to get, in any small business, you're not going to have, I mean, unless you're like, I don't know, some movie star who starts a business, you're going to have just stacks of cash, so you got to, because if you get burned out and you say, screw it, all your money's gone. So you got to pace yourself. You can't let this shit just suck you in, because it's going to suck your whole life in and you're going to lose everything.
It's funny that you bring this kind of thing up, because Blake and I had, we kind of talked about this, him and I, a little while ago, and we wanted to ask you about it. You hear people say, hey, if you're miserable in what you're doing, just go live your dream, go start a business, go drop everything you're doing. Yeah. Quit your job that pays your bills and go live whatever makes you happy.
Too bad you have What's your take kids. On just do it.
Yeah, just quit that job and go do what makes you happy. And
that sounds
that's
like kind of
what they. Yeah, it's a motivational speaker line, and it's kind of you hear kids that are like, oh man, I'm just gonna do what makes me happy. Like, and Blake and I, when we talked about it, we're like, okay, that's fucking bullshit. We're both. All three of us, we're parents, we're dads.
Yes,
we've got kids, we've got families we have to support. All three of us work our main money-making job and then kind of do our passion stuff on the side, Blake and I with the podcast and you with Led by Iron Clothing. What's your take on that when you hear people say like, oh, just quit your job and go out there and be happy and live your best you, bro? What do you think when you hear somebody say that?
That is probably some guy trying to sell you a DVD on how to do it, and I'd like to know.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? Or he's putting on some kind of, or they're putting on a seminar, and they want you to pay $15,000 to come to it.
Oh,
but I mean, I mean, exactly. But I mean, the deal with that is, man, I mean, you got to have dreams, but you got to have realistic dreams. That's like, my son plays tackle football. It's his first year there, plays 10. He's played, basketball, this, that, the other. And you run into these parents, they're like, well, man, my son's going to, my son wants to play in the NBA. My son wants to do this. And I'm like, I mean, you got to give your kids realistic goals to reach, because if they don't reach them, it's going to crush them. And that's just like in business. You have to have realistic goals for your company that you can reach. Start out with small goals, And when you got guys saying, man, I'm just going to quit my job, screw this dude, you know what they're going to be? Living in the poorhouse, and they're going to be broke. And
yeah, they're going to be living off of welfare. And those of us that are grinding it out are going to be supporting their fucking asses.
Oh, exactly. But I mean, it sounds fun to quit your job. And I mean, I love my job. Obviously, I've told you all that. But, I mean, some people don't like their jobs, but I mean, you can't just drop everything and go start a t-shirt company and not have any knowledge. I mean, I worked in retail, so I had a general idea on some things, but ordering shirts, stuff like that, no. I mean, like Tyler, we just play it by ear, but we're not betting the farm.
Yeah.
On, once again, I told you this earlier. I mean, it looks like we were just blowed up overnight, but it takes time on anything. Anything, 90% of small businesses fail in the first year, and the other 10 fell in the second. So we beat the first year. Now we're on to the second, and we're doing pretty damn good in our opinion. So we're going to make it. Not make it is not an option with us anymore. It's staying relevant. It's staying where, because you got to be on the cutting edge of shirts. You got to be on the cutting edge of hats. I mean, we're coming out pretty soon with a barbecue sauce. That should be out hopefully pretty soon.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, my buddy Smitty's barbecue sauce. He's helped us out with that. And then we've got we're working on a whiskey through Leatherwood Distilleries out of Pleasant View, Tennessee.
All of my
He's amazing.
Yeah, we're trying, dude. It's we actually Smitty, the guy from the barbecue sauce, is the one who hooked me up with Leatherwood, and it's we wanted to do it overnight, but it's going to be rough, but we're going to get it done. It's just going to take a lot more time. Yeah, I mean, and we were trying. I don't know, man. We had a lot of shit going on, and we tried to start that. But I mean, we've got our label design. We've got the name of it. Obviously, we've got it ready to rock. We just gotta. Once again, we don't want to jump into it and ruin our t-shirt company. Right. But I mean, because something like that. I mean, I talked with actually Ross Patterson about it, and he's like, "Look, man," and the guy who's the distiller, he's like, "Dude, it's going to take y'all not months."
Years,
not 6 months, 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And, this is like a small company. You got to know that getting into it. I mean, you're not going to make any damn money for a little while. You can't count on it to pay your light bill, to pay your water bill, to pay your mortgage. Or guess what? You're not going to have a house to even worry about a damn mortgage anymore because they're going to take it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and we're doing it right. I feel, we've got a good group around us. We've got, we do a lot of giveaways with companies. We're going to do one for 9/11, and we've got 5 or 6 companies lined up for that, and I just feel like we're going in the right direction, and just with people around us.
Well, you said something, and you said people look at you and they're like, "Oh man, you just blew up overnight. Like you were on Ross Patterson's show, you worked with Rob O'Neill, you've done all this stuff. Like you were a sponsor on Ross Patterson Revolution," and you're like, "Nah, dude. We've been grinding it out for 2 years before it started to happen." And that's something that people don't understand when they get into business, or, you hear Ross Patterson talk about it all the time with acting. Like, you don't just blow up. There's years and years and years of grinding. And I hate the term grinding, but it really is. It's just grinding out that every single day of like, okay, I got to get on Instagram and I got to push this stuff. I got to design this t-shirt, With Blake and I, it's like, okay, I gotta edit this audio. I gotta edit this video. I gotta get on Instagram and push this or push that. Or, this is our first video show that we're doing. So it's like, okay, I gotta get on it and set up a YouTube account. Like there's all this stuff that goes into it. And then people look at it and they're like, "Oh man, you just came out of nowhere." And you're like, "Motherfucker, what?"
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Like people will say that 5 years from now for like our podcast. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you guys just blew up." Like, we've been around for years, man.
Go look at the 165 episode catalog I have.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I listened to the episode with Ross. He was talking about the dude that was in Jurassic Park or Jurassic World or whatever. He was like, "Man, that guy started out on, just he was a fat friend in movies, and now look at him."
Yeah.
I mean, this shit, nothing worth having happens overnight. Nothing.
No,
right.
Nothing happens. I mean, and if you win the fucking if you win the lottery, I mean, you've seen the shows. Those dudes all fail. I mean, you just, anything worth having is going to take time. And that's what me and Tyler tell each other every day. We'll get stressed out sometimes, we're like, "Shit, man, what's going wrong? What's this, that, the other?" And we're like, "Give it 3 days." And we'll give it 3 days and boom, it's back fine.
Yeah.
It always does.
Yeah, you're going to have ups and downs in business. I don't care if you're selling t-shirts, if you're selling bicycles, if you're building houses. I mean, you're going to go through hard times, and you got to be not only monetarily prepared, you've got to be mentally prepared for it to happen. Because, you talked about earlier, you're going to go, "Well, man, this sucks. I was a dumbass. I shouldn't have done this." But you got to be mentally prepared to go, "Hey, man, we're going to get out of this. It's no big deal."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an advantage that, people like us, veterans, first responders, firefighters, law enforcement, we kind of have that advantage over other people, I think, because our training, in the military, I'm sure it's the same thing in law enforcement with firefighters. Okay, you made a mistake. Oh, all right. You can't go back and fix it, but you got to move on to the next room and keep fighting that fire, or you got to move in and clear that next room because there's people in there that want to fucking kill you. And you don't, there's not a lot of other jobs like that in the civilian sector that I've seen. But for people like us that have that drive and that training, it's a little bit easier, I think, to be like, okay, made a mistake. Damn it. Okay. Darn, move on, continue pushing on the mission, and let's keep pushing through and make up for that mistake on the next one. We released a crappy t-shirt and it bombed. And now I've got, 20 triple XL t-shirts that nobody wants to buy. All right. Hey, I got to eat that. But now it's time to move on and move on to the next t-shirt.
And I think that's what you see in.
Let me tell you this.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I got a funny story for you. My captain on the fire department. We'll go on calls. We'll see guys. You can obviously tell they got their shirts at Goodwill. He was like, Josh, he goes, you've made it one day when you see some guy who you can tell got their shirt at Goodwill that you've made it because you've had somebody that wore the hell out of that shirt and then gave it to Goodwill. And I was like, damn, dude, that's so true.
That's deep. That's deep.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's deep. It's like, it's great. Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I think that's what I find most attractive about companies, small or big, is the resiliency factor. I think it's what to narrow everything Brandon was just rambling on about for about 3 minutes there. To sum it up, one word. One word. Resiliency. No, I joke, but that's what I love to see the most in companies is how when they do have setbacks and you can see those setbacks in their social media, whatever else, and then you see them make that comeback, and that's it gives you that chub, I guess you could say, all right, that's good shit right there. I've no problem supporting that company, they're not giving up, and I'm not, and now you probably dedicated more lifelong customers than ever before with that. But
I'm totally, it's totally agreement. And that's when I was talking to you about those direct messages earlier, and it makes people feel like, hey, this dude cares. Mm-hmm. He's busting his butt to send us a direct message to introduce himself, so people will know, that we care about him, and we want to, if something goes wrong, if we mail someone out a wrong size shirt, that's just going to happen. Mm-hmm. If they ordered a small and they end up getting a medium, we'll tell them to keep their small and we'll send them a medium, give the small to their friend or extra, or you know what I'm saying, and then that just makes them feel good. And shit, they'll end up coming back and buy 4 shirts from you.
Right. Absolutely.
Customer service is huge in this deal because there's so many damn t-shirt companies running around out there, and there is. I mean, we see them. But you've got to separate yourself by doing different things, and that's kind of like our direct message deal. That's kind of like, they can go do it now. I don't give a shit because that just knows they copied off me and they copied off Tyler. They can go get pictures of their people wearing their stuff. Guess what? You copied off me. But whatever. I don't care. We've had people that have made shirts that look like ours. What are you going to do? Make fun of them? Call them up? Cuss them out? What's that going to prove? Nothing. Yeah. I've gotten mad a couple times. There's been some companies that my buddy sent me a shirt that he could have, although had the dome was right, led by iron under, and it would have been my damn shirt. But what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad. You can't get all 8th grade girl on them. What's that going to prove?
Yeah, it's funny that you said that because customer service really is that's where it's at. That's what separates the big boys from the amateurs. On the other podcast I just had David Mashura, who's the CEO and founder of Locks Hair Wax Company, which is a veteran-owned men's grooming company.
I've talked with him, man. We're actually hoping one day. We got so much stuff going on now. I can't remember where I saw a post, but we talked to each other on the phone for 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah, he's a super good dude. Guy. And when you order stuff from him on your receipt, on your shipping receipt or whatever, yeah, he always writes a super cool message or draws a picture of American flag or something and throws in a bunch of free stickers or whatever. And that's the kind of shit that makes a customer be like, oh man, that dude cares. Or sending a DM, oh, that dude cares about me as a customer. Not just me as a number, me as a paycheck for him, but me as a customer. he cares.
Exactly.
And that's awesome. And that's what makes people come back.
It does, and that's kind of like when we send the strike force out, I mean, it's not from us, but I mean, we're putting it in there. And then we also have a American made, we have a friend of ours, she owns a women's supplement line. And if someone buys a woman's tank top, we'll throw, some type of woman's supplement in there for them. It's not all women are going to drink Strike Force, but we've got 3 women's tank tops right now, and we're about to come out with another one. And, that's another aspect of ours that we have that, we've got women's stuff, and we did some guys' tank tops. And I mean, I don't think I've really ever worn a tank top, but I mean, you got to go with what's working at that moment, and you might not sell them all, but I mean, sooner or later you'll sell them, know?
Right.
And that comes back to all about numbers again, when you're ordering the number of shirts we order. If you bomb out on a shirt, you just got to sit there and look at them, or you got to get rid of them, by giveaway, by just giving them away to people. But I mean, we have people all the time. Can I be a, what do they call those people who get free stuff from you?
Like a brand ambassador.
An influencer.
Yeah. I don't fucking, bro. I don't even know what that is. I mean, we'll find, that's why, once again, we use people who buy our stuff and post their pictures, because I don't want to give some clown who's that he went out and bought 3 million followers for $500 to 10 t-shirts. I'm like, well, he's going to see it as grandma. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm just not a big deal on those brand ambassador things. I mean, I don't care if you've got 50 million followers.
Well, it means a lot more when you can grow that audience organically.
Exactly. And, I've said that before. Go ahead.
Then, like with you guys, 30,000 Instagram followers. Every single one of those 30,000 Instagram followers is somebody that has been to your page and been like, hey, this is worth clicking follow and seeing what these guys post. It's not just, a follower whose screen name is like boom, boom, kissy, kissy, X face, triple XO, like nobody gives a fuck about that.
Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, you're exactly right. But you're going to get those. I mean,
Oh yeah. All the time.
You're going to get those. But I mean, you're going to get those because I mean, there's so many fake Instagram accounts out there. I mean, you can buy likes, you can buy whatever. I mean, but I mean, 30,000 is really not, for a business, isn't that many. But I mean, when you got 30,000 good people that are buying your stuff, then it don't matter if you got 5,000 people if they're buying your stuff.
Right.
But people are worried about numbers, this, that, the other, but I mean, me and Tyler really never looked at it that way. But and getting back to the followers thing, man, we've gained a lot of followers through giveaways. And that's helped us a lot. I mean, and I really don't think there's a number on too many giveaways. I don't think there's a such thing, because you're getting other people's followers that are like-minded, who like their stuff, and we'll do giveaways with, we've done with Woodburn Warriors. He does he hand makes the flags. I've got 2 of them in my house. I mean, they're great flags, but once again with him, I told him, I was like, look, dude, there's 50 million companies, dudes making flags. I said, you got to separate yourself somehow. So he's learned some new tricks that he's doing, and it's helped him, and he does giveaways with us, and that helps him get followers. But that's like with us, that's why we got to make our shirts different, our selling styles different, because there's so many people that are trying to do the same thing you are. It's like a lawyer. I mean, 0.1% of lawyers make 99.9% of the money. That's why there's so many lawyer commercials, because the dudes ain't making no money.
Right.
So, I mean, you've got to separate yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Josh, to go back to the firefighting thing, man, I've never been a firefighter. So give our listeners a peek into the life of a firefighter and a first responder. When you're on duty, what's your day as a firefighter look like? Is it like I see on TV? Are you guys like slaying hot chicks and like hosing down in the yard topless and like, woo?
Well, they are.
I don't think it's like
that.
Man,
it's no. No. I
mean,
mean,
calendar shoots and stuff.
No, I got some buddies do the calendar, man. I work out.
So yeah, I mean, you look good, man. Like shit, why not?
I don't think I do the calendar, man. I don't know. I mean, I teach his own. I mean, if I was 25 and single, I'd be. I mean, one of my best friends, he's like 28. I was like, dude, you need to do that shit every year. You know what I'm
Fuck
saying?
yeah. Cash in on that check while you can.
Be in on it. You know, I mean, we get there at like 5. We're supposed to be there at 6. Most of us get there at 5:30 because, I mean, you got dudes who've been there for 24 hours. They're ready to go home. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get there at 5:30. We'll check off the engine. We'll, check off our medical bag. We'll get in there and we got to get on the computer. And if we need to order whatever, we'll order it. Then I'm at a small fire hall right now. We have an ambulance and we have our district chief, which is, I'm working Engine 8, and we have 3 guys on the engine, and we've got a female firefighter there. She's more loud mouth than we are, so she's like having a dude around. But I don't work at a very big fire hall right now, so we'll get in there and we usually just eat breakfast by ourselves. We'll get around, we'll do some cleaning, we'll figure out what we're going to do for the day, run some calls, use the arena, we'll watch a little TV, whatever. But we're busy. I mean, where I'm at now, I think we're like the 7th busiest engine in the city. We got 41 fire halls, so we're busy. And when I was on the ambulance, I worked downtown Nashville. I work right outside of downtown Nashville now. I mean, I'm in technically downtown, but I work in a place called 12 South. It's kind of, up and coming Hipsterville. But then, we work out every day 99.9% of the time. And then we eat lunch. And then we always cook dinner together, though. I mean, even if we don't cook it together, we go get something somewhere, we eat together. Most fire halls call it family time. We do that, and then we'll watch TV for a little while, and then we'll go to bed for 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And then we'll go do another one, do another one, do another one. I mean, we were up and down all night. I mean, that's just, you just got to expect it. I mean, every day's different. I mean, shit, you might do 12, 14 one day. You might do fucking 6 the next day. You just don't know. And, we'll take naps during the day because shit, sometimes people are like, all you do is sit around and sleep all day. Yeah, we're sleeping all day because our ass might be up all night, dragging your ass out of a car.
Right.
So we got to sleep when we can.
Right.
Or take a break when we can. Because, I mean, we don't know. People's always like, well, man, y'all come by the fire hall, you be sitting laying in the chair. Yeah, because I might be up till 4 o'clock in the morning, man. It's not like we're lazy. We have to cut the grass at the fire hall. We have to take the trash out. We have to clean bathrooms. I mean, you're not just a fireman. You're a janitor. You're a yard guy. You have to wash the engine. I mean, it's like having that's why it's called a firehouse. You take care of it like it's your own house. Because if not, nobody else is going to. Mm-hmm. Because we got 3 different shifts and it's the same number every shift. So if you don't take care of it, then the other guys will be like, screw him. He didn't do it. I'm not going to do it. And it's just a trickle down effect. Mm-hmm. So you've all got a job to do. We take the trash every night before we go to bed. You got to clean your fridge. You got a firehouse is like your own house. And if you let it go to crap, it's going to go to crap. So you got to take care of it. But I mean, it's like everybody says it's your second family. It's true. I mean, I'm there for 24 hours. That's a long time.
Right.
I mean, I work 24 hours and I'm off 48. So a third of the damn year I'm there. That's a lot. And then, sometimes like it's a lot. It's about, I mean, military guys get deployed together for 6, 8, 10 months at a time, but I plan on doing this job for I'm 41 for at least 20 something more years, I mean, my best friends in the world are those dudes,
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to my captain.
Yeah. Right. That's the thing, man. Like that camaraderie that you build, like in situations like being like a firefighter such as yourself or like dudes in the military, like that whole genre of people who live that way of life. That's what like I know like I struggle with big time. Like when I get out of the military, man, it's like that huge lack of camaraderie and like such a close, like tight knit group of friends and shit, man. Like that's huge. That's huge in your life. And like once you don't have it for a little bit, you're like, oh fuck. Like that meant a lot to me. And like Brandon here, like I've known him since 2007. We haven't personally seen each other since like 2011, but we talk pretty much every fucking day, and those people, man, they get that way of life. And, yeah, man, it's nuts.
It's nuts. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm having surgery in October. I mean, I'll be out for like 2 months, but I know these fucking assholes will come by and see me and stuff. And then I'm going to go light duty. I can't imagine being gone for a long time. I don't know. It's not just the work, it's the people. And then, everybody always says if you got a job you like, you never work a day again in your life. And that's damn true. And I've got 2 jobs I like. So yeah, but I'm still busting my ass in both of them. But I mean, you get out of what you put in, especially with a small company, with a starting company, with a small business. If I'm sitting around not doing shit with it, nothing's going to happen. I mean, if I'm not putting stuff on Instagram, nobody's going to know. I mean, you can stay stagnant for 2 or 3 days. If you stay stagnant for a week, your ass is done. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you stay stagnant for 2 days, you're done. I mean, what I generally do is before I go to bed, I'll have a picture picked out and I'll have a post written out. Boom. I'll wake up 6:30, 7 o'clock, post it, get out of bed. And that's one thing I do is I'll have 2 posts ready to go for the next day before I go to bed. Because if not, you're sitting there scrambling going, shit, man, I got to get this done. And then something might happen. I'm on a pretty decent time scale with it. I mean, I don't have it down to a science, nothing. But I mean, I've just kind of figured out the best times for us to post. Different companies might have different times, but I know when we need to post.
Right.
And it took me a while to learn it, but, because we were posting 4, 5, 6 times a day at one time, and people were like, dude, you're burning it out. And I was like, well, you're probably right. So I took that advice and it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
social media moves real fast, man.
So fast, dude. And then now these stories, that's why stories, who told me this? Some guy told me this. He said, that's why stories last like 5 seconds, because that's a person's like able to look at something.
Attention span.
Like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. Their attention span is fast. And that's why those stories actually last like 5 seconds and go to the next one, because that's the attention span now. And like if you write, I used to write these big, long, elaborate posts, and I was like, man, nobody's reading this shit. All they want to see is your picture. And they might read the first 2 lines. And after that, they don't care. So I make sure the picture's good. And we're trying to do more video content, but that takes a lot of time. You got these guys like Matt Best and hell Ross. Their videos, that shit takes planning, man. That's like a damn movie production these days.
It is.
I mean, and then people think, hey, they just did a video. No, they probably wrote it for 2 days. They shot it for a day, and they probably spent God knows what on it.
Right, exactly. That's it. A lot of people don't understand like what really goes into all the people that they follow and stuff like that. And I know I can appreciate hearing all of this coming from you. So, shit.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
It is, man. It is.
It's a lot of work.
But it's worth it. You know what I mean? It's like you're doing what you love to do. And that's the key right there. Busting your ass on social media, Instagram, stuff like that. That's just how it is these days. You know what I mean? Before it was, taking ads out of paper and shit, But, man. Fuck. Well, shit, man. Josh. Dude.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun, man. Seriously. And,
I mean, there's still some magazines out there, man. I like magazine. They have a podcast. I was walking over one day.
I think we lost Josh here for a second. Give us just a moment when he'll be right back. Brandon, are you still there, man?
Dude. Yeah, I'm still here. While you work on fixing the connection with Josh, I'll ramble on because that's what I'm great at.
The ramble master.
It's so interesting for me to hear Josh talk about, how the small business kind of mindset of hustling, grinding, making sure that you're always got your posts on Instagram dropping. And, he sets them up before he goes to bed. Oh, it looks like Josh is back. Okay.
Man, I
there
lost
he is. He made it back.
That's all right. That's all right.
Where did I lose y'all at?
So you were talking about skill set, which I love their podcast, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Skill set's great.
Okay, that was the podcast. Okay, you cut off for me for right there. So, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I saw their magazine and I started following them. And, I really like their whole aspect of the alpha male deal. And, we're probably going to end up doing something probably even in their magazine one day, just because I like, once again, their customer services, it's like y'all. I mean, they contacted us. We talked to Ben from there, and, I mean, you got to have good customer service and everything. And I talked to him a couple times, and he got my boy Jeff Bosley on their show, and I like him.
Yeah, I like their podcast. I haven't been able to find their magazine. It's on my to-do list, but their podcast is great. And yeah, for anybody that hasn't listened to the Skill Set Mag podcast, it's an alpha male show. It's talking about dude stuff, and they get into stuff in the shooting industry and in the military and music. They had Danny Warsnop from Asking Alexandria, who's like one of my absolute role models on their podcast.
So good.
And it's great. And I love their stuff. I love what they put out.
Yeah, I'm a big podcaster, man. That's all. I mean, I listen to podcasts. I mean, sometimes, we all show it might last an hour. I mean, my drive might be 30 minutes just to get back in and listen to it again when you get in the car. I mean,
yeah,
that's just the way of the future. I don't ever see podcasts going anywhere, man. I mean, it's, and you can cut it down to like exactly what you like. I mean, if you like sports, you can find sports podcasts. And I mean, it's just so niche oriented. And, and they say, the hardest form of marketing is finding your niche. I mean, and podcast advertising makes it easy for you. Instagram makes it easy for you. Mm-hmm. Hashtags make it easy for you. Yeah, I mean, they say it's harder to market these days. Bullshit, it's easier.
No, yeah, it's way easier.
Yeah,
as long as you're willing to put the effort into doing the research on what hashtags to use and what platforms to use, and put the time into learning that platform and then posting on it consistently. It's I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's easier than trying to film a commercial or a radio commercial or some bullshit like that.
Or put a newspaper ad, and then you got to figure out which newspaper you're supposed to use. Right. I mean, small businesses like us would not have worked 20 years ago. There's no possible way. We never would. I mean, nobody would have even thought of nothing like this. And, Instagram, Facebook, social media has changed the way small businesses run and are able to operate and even able to be around.
Yeah, really has.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think too, like 20 years ago, man, it was all like anything big name. That was it. Like mom and pop stuff, never saw it. Never saw it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
No. You may have had a pharmacy on the but everybody knew that was Morrison's Pharmacy and they were on the square and they all went there. You didn't have to advertise. But now you got Walgreens, you got, Kroger's got a freaking everybody's got pharmacies. So I mean, even with them, they got to set themselves apart somehow, because I went and got some allergy medicine the other day and the my doctor was like, hey man, you can go to Publix and get it 90 days for free. And I was like, that's pretty damn brilliant. And then you're going to get in there and you're going to spend $200 on groceries while you're in there waiting on your damn shit to get ready. But I mean, and then they got to set themselves apart from, and that's why you don't see family-based, pharmacies anymore, because they just can't compete with price or, anything else.
Right. Man.
Yeah. And, and that's the thing with business is if you can't find a way to set yourself apart, you're going to get lost in kind of the flow of everything else. So it's really all about finding your niche. And here's the key for anybody out there that's looking to get into business and you're like, okay, well, how do I find my niche? If there's something that you want and you can't find it, there's your fucking niche right there.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Problem solvers.
Go figure out a way to sell that thing that you want that you can't find. For me, man, fucking barbershop. I've had a fucking hell of a time trying to find like a cool old fashioned barbershop where I could go in and just get a cool dude haircut, not a fucking Fantastic Sam's or any of that bullshit. And I was like, man, if I knew how to fucking cut hair, I'd be rich. And because that's the need, and I couldn't find it.
You can't even sit here and start talking about your fucking haircut again.
Shut the fuck up.
We already
Blake.
talked about this shit. The 2000s called. It wants his hairstyle back, okay?
Hey, but he's got a big beard, so he's good.
That's true.
You know what? I'm wearing a hat tonight just for you, Blake. I got a hat on tonight just for you.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Well, that's like, I don't know if y'all watched did you guys watch the Mayans the other?
I haven't watched it yet. It's on the DVR. I DVR'd it. I haven't watched it yet.
The Mayans, did y'all watch it? Y'all need to check it out. It's a good show.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, I just sat down the other night and watched the whole first season of Tim Kennedy's show, Hard to Kill. That was great. That was really cool.
I watched the one too that the Nazi hunter or whatever that was. Oh
yeah, Hunting Hitler.
Hunting Hitler. Yeah,
that was a really cool show too.
Yeah. That's a good show too. I mean, and look at Netflix. I mean, you can't even advertise on TV anymore. You can watch Netflix. I mean, there's
TV's dying, man.
TV's done, man. I mean, it's on demand. I mean, like I was watching the Mayans the other night. You can pay $5 extra a month and have FX with no commercials.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
With no commercials.
Crazy.
You can watch it live with no commercials.
You know, crazy thing.
Well, damn.
Since we're talking about that real quick, I saw an article. I don't know how true it was, but I saw something that Netflix is going to be starting advertisements soon. It's like, it crushed me when I heard that.
Yeah, that hurts.
That
hurts my
Netflix
soul.
big time.
But you know what Netflix is going to do? They're going to be like, okay, well, now in the basic $12 a month package, there's ads. But if you pay for the premium $19.99 a month package, you get it with no ads.
Commercials.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a way for them to be like, okay, well, yeah, we're going to make more money off of advertisements, but then we're going to make more money off of not seeing the advertisement. So we're double dipping. And that's business.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is business. And they'll fucking do it too, man. They'll do it.
Genius on Netflix.
And that's like Amazon Prime. I wanted to watch that dude from The Office, man. He's in that new what is that show? They already got it on Amazon Prime, and I'm like, well, shit, I don't have Amazon Prime, and I'm not going to buy it just to watch one show. So, I mean, you know, stuff like that helps them and hurts them, because I mean, I'm not going to pay for that crap.
Yeah, but there's people out there that will. There's people out there that will absolutely pay for that one show,
and then cancel, I guess, after they get done.
Yeah,
but I'd forget and have like 85 different TV watching shit coming out of my like, damn, I don't even know I could, you know, whatever. Because I signed up for that some audiobook club and forgot all about it, man. And I was like, man, what is this $20 month charge coming out of my account? I did it to get Rob's book, because Rob actually reads the book on the audiobook, The Operator. It's Rob reading it to you.
Oh, that's
so if you haven't, so if you haven't read it, you need to just go to Audible, get the free month on Audible, and do it that way, man. And that's what I did. You know, it's like with Ross's book. Ross reads them, you know. I mean, that makes, once again, making stuff more personable. That makes, in my opinion, your book 10,000 times better, because you're the one, you wrote it and they're reading it. That makes it 10,000 times better in my eyes. Yeah, and then I'd already met Rob when I listened to the book, so I was like, well, shit, it's like I'm sitting here with the dude while he's reading it to me. You know, it's and I think that's good. You know, because it makes it more personable.
So, you know, Josh, we're starting to run out of time for the show tonight.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to throw out? We're gonna, you know, obviously have you throw out all your social media handles, your website, all that stuff, and then we'll include those links into the show notes. Is there anything else you want to touch on with the podcast tonight?
No, man, I think y'all did a really great job, man. And I mean, your questions were great. And, you know, every time I do one of these, I feel like I learn a shit ton just from, you know, from guys like y'all asking me questions. I mean, and, you know, and y'all are doing a great job. And, you know, podcasts is just, they're not going anywhere, and I love them. I mean, and, you know, it's just like when you're trying to sell something, you're not going to sell something that you don't like. And then when podcasts, I'm not going to be on something I don't like and I don't listen to. And, you know, I didn't even start listening to, Tyler told me about Drinking Bros right before I bought into Led by Iron. I'd never really heard of him. And he was like, dude, you go listen to these cats named Drinking Bros. You go listen to them. I was like, man, I don't got time to listen to that shit. Back then, all I listened to was sports talk. Sports talk radio. But now Ross has even a sports talk show with Drinking Bros.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a big fantasy football nut, man. And, you know, I'm not a big NFL fan, but, you know, a bunch of guys from the fire department, we got like 12, 13 guys, and we meet and have a damn live draft. So, I mean, and that's awesome. Just, you know, that gives you one more thing at work to talk about, you know, one more thing, you know. But, you know, with Led by Iron Man, we're growing, and I just, you know, we're not going to stop growing. And we love hearing ideas from people. Send us direct message, and, you know, we try to respond to everyone who sends us one, you know. And, you know, Rocco from used to be on Drinking Bros, you know, he was talking about that the other day on his social media. He was like, because you write me a direct message, I try to respond to everyone, you know, and that's big time, man. And, you know,
I'll speak for that personally, because, you know, when I started my podcast, I reached out to a lot of those guys, and I reached out to JT from Drinking Bros, and that dude, 15 minutes, messaged me back and was like, fuck yeah, I'll come on the podcast. Tell me when. And,
badass.
You know, those guys, you know, that is what sets those apart. And that's what makes me be like, you know what, for the rest of my life, whatever these guys do, I'm buying in.
I'm doing it. I'm in. Yeah. You know, range 15, whatever. you know, and we have small companies now that will ask us, you know, our opinion, try to help them. And we got some guys out right outside of Atlanta. They're firemen. They're called High Rise Tactical. You know, I talk to those guys a lot. We did giveaways with them. You know, once again, I told you about Smitty's barbecue sauce. I mean, me and him talk 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, and it's all about helping other people, man. Because when we first started, we had guys like Ross that helped us. You're not gonna be an asshole to these people, man. They're asking you a question because they value your opinion and they like your stuff and they want to do what you've done. Why not help them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, why not? I mean, that's just a prick move if you don't help them. I mean, that's like if somebody wants to be a fireman, you know, somebody goes, hey, man, what can I do to become a fireman? I'll be like, look, man, you got to go to EMT school. You got to do this. You got to do that. I'll sit them down and talk to them because why not, man? Because you're going to want like-minded individuals doing the same thing you are. And you're not going to want some prick doing it. So, I mean, you know, and good competition is healthy in anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's one reason why whatever success I attain in podcasting, I owe so much of it to Blake, because when I said, I got on my Facebook and I was like, you know, hey, I'm starting this podcast, and Blake immediately messaged me and was like, hey man, I've been podcasting for about, 6 months. If you have any questions, hit me up, we'll chat about it. And we did. And he helped me through the process. And now here we are, and we've got this joint show that we're doing. And so him helping me has only pushed me to more success, which allows us both to be successful, which pushes him to more success. So, it's a chain that you can continue to build when you help other people, because you reap that.
Yeah.
So thanks, Blake.
You're welcome for my service, man.
And then you can bounce ideas off each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
which
man,
we do. We've got this huge running chat of, hey, should I do this? And Blake's like, no, dude, you can't do that. That's illegal.
You might go to prison for that one.
That's like a once a week conversation. Like, no, bro, you're gonna end up in federal prison. No.
I mean, I've had ideas for shirts or whatever, and Tyler's like, dude, we're gonna get sued. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, Blake is my filter. Whenever I have an idea, I'm like, okay, I got to run this through Blake, and if he says it's okay, then I can do it, and if not, it's really fucked up, and I shouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's like us, man. Like, we had an idea for a shirt one time. I was like, man, I need to call one of us needs to call Ross to see if we'll get sued, because that dude's smart as hell. I mean, he's smart.
Oh yeah,
he's so smart. I mean, he knows laws. He knows what you can and can't do, and what you print and can't print, what you say and can't say. And, he's a good source of information. Once again, I'm like, well, I'll just call Ross. He'll talk to me. I mean, I called him earlier, and he's like, I'm at dinner, man. I'll holler at you in the morning. That's pretty cool. Whatever. I mean,
yeah,
it's great to have resources like Ross,
Yeah.
Or Sean or, whoever.
Right. Exactly. It's just a massive community, man. Just people helping each other out. It's awesome to see like your friends do well. You know what I mean? Like it feels good.
Oh yeah.
Like, like I see Brandon, like, I'm nothing, and you know what I mean? Like right now, but like to see him, like just start to see like really starting to take off now. I'm like, dude, and like I helped him get launched. You know what I mean? Like that feels really good to me.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me so happy to see Brandon's podcast doing so well. He's going to I told him this since the beginning. I'm like, dude, you're going to blow me out of the fucking water, bro. Like get ready, 'cause it's happening.
Get ready. See, that's like High Rise Tactical, man. When I first met those guys, they put our flag on their left sleeve for us because we helped them. In all their shirts they print, they'll have High Rise Tactical on the front, on the back, and they'll have our sleeve on their left arm. And I thought that was cool.
That's what's up, man. That's what it's all about is giving back and helping each other. And that's the thing about the veteran community, the first responder community, these tight knit groups is we find a way to come back and give back to the community and help each other out. And that's what's important. And that's kind of what, at least in my life, gives my life meaning, is how can I give back to this community? And that's why I got into podcasting. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, is so I can give back. And I feel like that's the thing behind Led by Iron, is like, okay, how can we find a way to give back and do something cool? Fuck it, dude. Let's do these awesome shirts. First responder owned, first responder operated. And, you guys do a lot of charity work and giveaways and stuff. And that's what it's about, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's totally what it's about. Totally.
Awesome. Blake, you got anything else for Josh?
I don't, guys. I'll just throw this out there real quick for Josh and Led by Iron as a whole. If you haven't heard of them yet, go check them out on Instagram. Check out their website, all the stuff like Brennan said. We'll be linking everything in the show notes and the show description. Also on YouTube. So also, yeah, Josh, you're our very
YouTube,
first. Yeah. So we haven't at this time of
awesome,
recording, we haven't put it out there yet. But when this is out, y'all know, of course. But you're our first fucking YouTube thing, man.
That's
Very
awesome, man. That's great.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, go check out Led by Iron. They have the best shit, man. Just amazing quality shirts, and with a company that's has a brilliant mission. So, support, these companies like Josh's company, Led by Iron. Go out there, follow them, go buy a shirt, man. This shit's fucking awesome. So,
yeah, our Instagram is, no, you go ahead.
Shirts, women's shirts, hoodies, hats, accessories, stickers. You guys got a cool ass water bottle. There's all kinds of stuff on here. If you can't find something on here that you like, you fucking suck. That's all I got on that.
There it is.
Exactly. And if you don't have anything you like, then man, shoot us direct message and we'll try to make you one. How about that?
Yeah.
There we go.
There it is. They're open for it. So
Josh,
tell the people where they can find you, man.
All right, we're Led by Iron, LEDBYIRON _apparel on Instagram. Our website is ledbyiron.com, and our Instagram kind of speaks for itself. So just get on there, check us out, see something you like. You got a question, just direct message us, and we'll get back to you. Guaranteed.
Awesome.
And boom, there it is, baby.
Boom.
So good. Fuck, man. Josh, thanks for being on the show, man. This was a fucking
Oh, man,
blast,
no problem.
Man.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I had a great time.
Yeah,
great time.
I know I can speak for Brandon as well. We appreciate you so much, and just for taking the time out of your day.
No problem, man.
Yeah, dude, this is a lot of fun, and man, we'll have to talk soon.
We'll do it again, man. Yeah, I gotta go to tattoo shop in the morning. Got football games in the morning, all day long.
Nice.
That hashtag dad life, man.
Oof.
No doubt, wear you out, buddy.
Yeah.
I thought I was tired. I used to think I was tired until we had this our youngest now. I think I drank way too much C4 and Strike Force. It took way too much testosterone when I conceived him. He's out of control.
Oh,
that's my fault.
Hey, we get it, man. We get it.
So,
yeah.
Shit.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, stick around.
We appreciate you coming on, Josh.
Yeah, stick around after the call. After we're done this recording, man, we'll chat for just a little bit yet.
No problem.
But yeah. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. I'm Blake.
I am Brandon.
And this is the Badass American Noise Hero Pollution Podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that what we're going with now?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's roll with it.
All right, fuck it. We're doing it live, baby, on YouTube. Check us
out.
Live. Subscribe.
Do.
Pew, 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 pew. All right, we're out, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Boom.